What is up YouTube, it's Kingfisher745, and in this video we're going to take a look at a few team-ups for the brand new character Karolina Dean. Before we begin though, check out this amazing graphic by AJ Designs. So big thank you goes out to Jameson, he makes way better graphics than I do, and I really do appreciate it. By the way, I do have a special announcement to make regarding team builds, and potentially a new way to share them with you all in the future. First of all, I am very thankful to Agent Snaps for helping me out with this whole thing. And although we haven't worked out the final details, at least at first I am going to post them on my blog, so you should be able to find them all right there. And I'll put a link to that guide in the description below. I know that many of the questions often revolve around my ISO 8 builds for my heroes, as well as my agent setup. So I'm going to try to post it each time on the blog, at least for now, and I'll let you know if we come up with a better way later. Then I'll place a link in the description, so just make sure you look for it there. Also, if I can remember, I'll place an annotation on the screen letting you know that I have the guide in the description. But if I do forget to do that, just make sure you check it out on all new videos. So that's the announcement, and the first match is already underway. We're facing a very high-powered attack team, and at the time I was using my completely anti-energy setup. This included Captain Marvel, who has Absorb Energy, so once she uses her level 9 she'll be healed by energy attacks, and she protects allies from single target and area energy attacks. She is also on the team because she can grant Rally, which makes a buff action a quick action. That of course would apply to Prismatic Shield from Karolina Dean. And by the way, Karolina also has a chance to heal instead of taking damage when hit by energy attacks. She's also immune to radiation effects, and nearby energy attacks generate 1 stack of Empyrean energy. But if that wasn't enough shield and energy synergy for you, on my agent we are using the E regulator, which says Tech Support. Allies have a chance to be protected by Tech Support Field before an enemy attack. So what does Tech Support Field do? Well, it is a shield effect that absorbs incoming damage, it converts incoming energy damage into healing, and it provides upgraded tech while active. And then, no, there is an and then. And then, we are using 2 pieces of the Cybernetic set. First, the Cybernetic Blaster, that's a ranged tech energy attack that becomes a quick action when you have another piece of the set. So our second piece of the set is the Cybernetic Cannon, and it's an AoE ranged gun energy attack that becomes stealthy with another piece of the Cybernetic set. It has deadly crits, and it gains Malignant Ice. Now before our explanation was even done, our agent's already dead, and the match is very close to being over. But I think you can see all the synergy with that setup, and the fact that we had so many energy attacks going on, we were going to gain a lot of Empyrean energy. So it's going to work out, but it would have been even better if it wasn't against an ultra attack team like this. However, the best part is we are going to get a pretty decent Empyrean Flare because we do have a lot of energy stored up. Now if you have a shield effect active and you can make sure this is a guaranteed crit, Karolina's level 9 is going to do quite a bit of damage. But at least we do crit null, and that's for over 8,000. Then after that, we'll easily finish the match with a Kree Strike from Captain Marvel. Not featured in this video, I did end up removing the E regulator, so I included the updated build on my post. Now don't get me wrong, that would have dominated any energy team. I mean, we were completely prepared for anything like an Iron Patriot. And speaking of him, great segue. This next team is Karolina and Rhodey. Now the great thing about this team is energy attacks boost Empyrean energy for Karolina. And who fires multiple energy attacks like Iron Patriot? Very few is the answer, though you may want to try out someone like Rocket Raccoon as well. Anyways, for Pepsi Can's first turn we're going to use his level 2 on Molly Hayes. It would be very much to our benefit to take her down before she's able to use Temper Tantrum. No, we're not going to get there on our first attack, but we still have time. Meanwhile, Miss Dean is loving our energy attacks. Unfortunately, Invisible Woman does use Force Cage, so if we want to get that off, we're going to have to use our Warm Zephyr. That's alright though, because using Fire Tornado right away against this team may not even work out. Then after that heal and debuff removal, we're going to use the Neuropurge. That's mainly to shut down Invisible Woman's counters. And then we do have another energy attack on our agent. That's right, we're using the Skeptic. It's another great energy weapon to use with Karolina, though admittedly I almost brought in the Rook. The Rook is a ranged energy attack that fires until ammunition is depleted. So with those multiple shots, you're going to get Empyrean energy very fast. And speaking of Empyrean stacks, it's time to unleash our level 9, which we did equip the bursting AISO to, so we have Shield Breaker on it. Okay, so that wasn't a bad hit at all. Then unfortunately our Iron Patriot misses his turn because of stun, and after a force volley we're going to get to attack with my agent twice, as well as with Karolina. However, after using Momentary Advantage, we can use the Light Fantastic as a quick action, and that gets rid of all those debuffs from the GG prototype. Then I'm going to use our Fire Tornado and exhaust the enemies, followed by 2 shots from the Skeptic. Too bad Karolina can't use her level 9 just yet. It does have a cooldown. But still, we can take out the enemy agent. That's going to require both of our shots. And then after that, with Karolina, we're going to use her move that we haven't seen yet. That's right, it's her level 6 Lucy in the Sky. And just like her other moves, it has a really cool animation. So let's go ahead and take a look at that ability. Trust me, if I was allowed, I would play the song. But here it goes. Lucy in the Sky with diamonds. Yes, and sometimes she just keeps going and going, which I'm perfectly fine with. But finally, with Iron Patriot, we're going to use his full overcharge and then a 21 gun salute. That's definitely going to take down Invisible Woman and win our second match. After this, I do have one more planned, and well, this one's really tough to beat because of Iron Patriot's destructive force. However, the next one may be my favorite because it also works very well in PvE. Even at a very low level, I was taking in Karolina Dean with Invisible Woman in the Boss Rush Simulator Challenge, and I was easily able to defeat them. Not to mention Invisible Woman and my agent were doing major damage because of Shield Slam. Now, Shield Slam is a buff that comes from Karolina Dean's level 2 Prismatic Shield. Now what this buff does is causes your entire team to deal 50% extra damage while shielded. That is a huge increase. So not only do you get the air pressure benefit from the circulating and powered ISO 8, which I think most of you know about by now, but it causes party members with shields to remove and prevent debuffs while shields are active. So you're telling me you get debuff removal and prevention, as well as a huge damage increase, and both of these characters are going to be providing shields throughout the battle. Well, sign me up. By the way, I do have to admit, and you might be able to tell, I did get kind of distracted right here, and I used Warm Zephyr rather than Fire Tornado. Right after I did this, I was kind of left scratching my head, and I even froze on what to do next. But it's going to be fine, don't worry. Molly's not going to destroy our team. In fact, I'm going to use the Neurotrope, and then I'm going to use the T-Bolt Glove, which by the way is an energy attack, so it also gives Empyrean energy to Karolina Dean. So that's another great benefit to using this weapon. And also, of course, we're going to absorb energy, but hopefully after this the enemy agent doesn't do anything too drastic. Alright, so on his turn, it looks like he's actually going to use the T-Bolt Glove as well. Karolina Dean is going to get Empyrean energy, and we're going to counterattack this move. So very surprisingly, we knocked out the enemy agent already. And now we can use our level 9, which does have the bursting AISO. So there's around 10k to both enemies, and most importantly they have Shield Breaker. Then watch this on Molly Hayes. We're just going to go ahead and force cage her. If she's force caged, she can use Temper Tantrum, but she won't be able to attack. So stomp your feet all you want, Power Princess, you're not going to be hitting anyone. Then after that, with my agent, I'm going to use Hailstorm, and then I'm going to follow that up by using the T-Bolt Glove on Invisible Woman. We're not going to hit Molly Hayes through the force cage, so that's the only downside, but really it was our only choice and the obvious one. In the meantime, we're going to build back up that Empyrean energy, and hopefully get another hit with Karolina before it's over. Then after that, with Karolina Dean, we're going to use Prismatic Shield. That way we can just make sure it's active and give ourselves Shield Slam once again. At this point, Invisible Woman is the only enemy we even have to worry about, and she uses a force cage on our agent. So then let's go ahead and take her out with a single target move, and then after that we can use the Warm Zephyr to remove that cage. Next up, a T-Bolt Glove to soften up Molly Hayes, and then I do believe we're going to finish her off with her fellow runaway, and the only ability we haven't used this video. How about her level 1 beautiful beam? So that's going to be the end of the third and final fight, and it brings us to the end of this video. Next up will be an All Hail the King video with the New Mutants magic costume, or Spec Ops coverage if that comes tonight. I'd like to thank you all for watching and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, good luck and take care.